My name is Audra, and I'm doing a video on how I henna process my own hair. It's definitely not a perfect process, but I'm going to share with you what I do in the hopes of getting feedback from you as well and adjusting the way I do my own hair. Somewhere between 4 and 5 weeks, I start to really get gray, and it's primarily at my roots. I get a little bit like over here on the sides, like by my hairline. So I find that that's the timeline I have to use to do the henna. I'm definitely interested in any comments that you have. The two ways that I try to tackle covering the gray are with either lemon juice, which I'll show you, or I've also done apple cider vinegar. I've read some that said you should add oils and some that say you shouldn't. Definitely give your comments as to what you find works. More recently, I'm not adding any oils, because I'm afraid that it's not going to get the henna to stick to my hair. The one system that I'll show you, I wash my hair, which I'm going to do after this, with just shampoo, and I don't put any conditioner, any hair products in there. I've applied henna with my hair being wet and with my hair being dry. Most of the time I do it while it's dry, but tonight I'm going to do it where it's wet. So let's get into my process. Damp. I put a towel underneath me just so that, like, because the dye ends up dripping. I have my gown. I use an old Turby twist. I put like a plastic bag and the Turby twist when I'm all done. And then this is my henna. You can let it sit out after you mix it for, like, my package says 8 to 12 hours. The color's supposed to look like it started to change, and mine looked like that when I stirred it. I've read that it should be like cake batter consistency, or pancake batter consistency. I did notice sometimes, like, if I don't mix it good enough, there'll be like chunks, and those chunks like dry really funky in your hair. So try to get it as smooth as you can. Most of the stuff I bought on Amazon, like the gown, I brought this brush. I've read and watched other YouTubers that say that I saw some that said you should use metallic bowls, and then I saw other ones that said you shouldn't. I bought a metallic bowl, and I felt like my henna got a weird color, and I don't know if it was just a coincidence because it was like the earliest times I was applying henna, but it seemed like my grays came back quick. It might not be anything really accurate, but it's just what I noticed. So now I use a glass bowl, and I also do have like a plastic bowl similar to this type of spoon application brush. And then I always wear gloves because it is really messy. A lot of times this gets on my sink. I just rinse it off, and it does rinse off pretty easily. Dun, dun, dun. I usually try to like separate, but you can kind of see my grays there. You know what I mean? So I try to just like go straight down, separate, and then I just start applying. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's like pretty gross. This stuff smells, I feel really gross. It smells like pot or like dirt.
Pot?
Yeah.
Mom, how do you know what that smells like?
I don't know. Most of the time, if I don't leave the henna on my skin too long, I can easily wash it off. The thing about henna is that it takes a long time. I mean,
long process.
Yeah, like you have to do the 8 to 12 hours after you mix it to let it sit. And then you have to apply it, and you have to let it sit on your hair for 3 hours. Then after that, you have to rinse it. You can't shampoo your hair. And then for me, I have the added step of I have to then apply the indigo, which is like the dark color of, you know, like the black when I'm doing the process. So for me, It's 3 hours, and then I have the next 3 hours with the indigo. So it's like 6 hours of hair dye, and that doesn't include all the prep work. I'm gonna be honest though, I definitely feel like it's worth it. I am anemic, so like my hair is drier right now than it normally is. But I do feel like my hair grew very long with henna, and it definitely improved the texture of my hair. I have a lot of wave to my hair, and I straighten it with like rollers. But I do feel like henna helped the quality of my hair.
Yeah, it made it a lot less frizzy.
Yeah, my hair was like curly, frizzy. And they weren't pretty curls, they were like frizzy curls. But I think it was like because it was damaged from like traditional hair dye.
The heat.
Yeah, I used to always like blow dry my hair a lot. This is the little like plastic showery cap bag thing that you can put on top. I have like a really heavy duty one that you can put in the microwave because I heard heat also helps. But it was too bulky and it was too uncomfortable to wear. And I find that my hair color works just as well with this thing. I try to like push it down so that the henna gets onto like my roots really good. I mush it in, and then I'm gonna leave it for the 3 hours. So I had mixed my henna with the beet juice and tea mixture, but I think I added too much water, and that's why I didn't get as much of a red, and it looks more orangey. So hi, I have mixed together my indigo, and it's all ready to use. I am going to apply it. You can see where the red is. Okay, so I have my indigo mixed. You can see I only did step one. I've been doing henna for probably about a year, so I'm definitely not an expert, but each time I try to perfect it a little bit more. And I'm guessing it actually matters like your hair texture and the things you've already done to your hair. So I'm gonna apply the indigo and then let it sit for the 3 hours. So I try to apply the indigo pretty quickly after I've mixed it. I have read that indigo is different than henna in the respect that you don't actually need to let it sit. It's ready to be applied pretty quickly after it's mixed. I think they say don't let it sit more than 15 minutes. Sometimes I can tell I definitely mix it better than others. Like I try not to have it lumpy. This time I probably could have mixed it a little bit creamier. I can see like there's a little bit of like clumpiness to it. And I think it does go on better when you don't have as much of the clumpiness with the henna. Like I think they say it's similar to the first application of the henna, that it's better if it's like a cake batter mix or like pancake mix. So I did the indigo from my roots to my tips this time, but normally I think it's better actually just to do the roots or the gray areas. Actually, I don't know if I can do this myself. Oh boy. Hold on. Oh, I really don't want to touch it. Oh boy. Why you put your gloves back? I know, I hate to put my gloves back on because I just rinsed them. Okay. I'm trying not to clump my hair too much at the top, which I have a tendency to do, because when it dries, it feels very hard to rinse out this like big ball of knotted hair. So I've got my little shower cap on, little bun on the bottom instead of the top. I have a tendency to make like a big ball on the top and a knot. So if anybody else has a trick for that, I'm sectioning off my hair, but when I do that, I have like a big wave of hair on this side or a big wave of hair on that side, and I do find it hard when I'm rinsing it. And then I try to like smush this into my scalp, because my issue is like grays coming in on my roots. So I feel like if I smush this in, and definitely along the sides too. I like rub it into my head, and then after I feel like it's rubbed in really good, I'm gonna leave it for 3 hours. Then I'm gonna rinse it with ideally cool water, which is really unpleasant, but if not, at least I do like temperate water. And then my final rinse, I do cold water because they say that cold water seals in the color. No shampoo and no conditioner. I know other people say that they do condition at that point, but I've seen a lot of other YouTube videos and gone onto Henna websites, and they say if you use conditioner too soon, then it messes up the color. So I don't use any oils or conditioner when I'm applying, and for the first like 24 hours. After 24 hours, then I'll use shampoo and wash out my hair. Before then, I'm just rinsing it.
Hi everyone, we just want to update the video really quick and just obviously show she's doing the henna again, mushy mushy. We are just trying to ask your questions. These are just a few final questions. Ask them away.
No. Seriously?
Oil, no oil. Lemon juice, no lemon juice.
Apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar, no apple cider vinegar. Comment down below, will you? We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching, my subbies. Subscribe down below. We'll see you in our next one. Who's with me?